Hey guys, welcome back to the Berry Mountain Homestead. Today we are bringing you a video about being in an RV in the winter. Our tips and tricks to being in an RV, whether you're camping or living like us in the winter time, because it can be very challenging. And we thought, hey, we've learned all this stuff from research and just doing it, and we figured why not share that in case we can help other people.
If you're new to our channel, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Michelle.
We are newlyweds that are living in an RV full-time over the winter while we're waiting for our homestead to be built. If
you're not already subscribed to our channel, we would love for you to join and follow along with our journey.
Found a little piece of homestead, waiting by the river, waiting by the river.
Alright, so let's get into the tips and tricks for being in an RV in the winter time. The first concern, of course, is just how are you going to keep warm, stay cozy in your RV.
Most RVs have propane heaters, and they come with propane tanks. Ours happen to come with two 30-pound tanks. Since we're stationary, we got a 100-gallon tank sent here and placed right next to our RV so that we don't have to worry about it as much. You need to pay attention to your propane tanks. You do not want to run out of heat overnight.
And then indoors in the RV, we have an electric heater. We chose to get a ceramic heater. That way we are a little bit safer. The exterior of the actual heater doesn't heat up, so we have a lot of pets and things. We didn't want that, so it's a safe option. It puts a lot of heat out into the RV, but you are using electricity.
And I know a lot of people, when they're camping, love to use the electric heaters because electricity is free and propane is not. But you need to be careful about how you, for us at least, you need to be careful about where you put the heater in the RV, because our RV is kind of split into two rooms. So if you have it in one room, that room is super toasty and the other room is cold, and the thermostat's right in the middle, so the thermostat won't register the cold temperature and it won't kick on the propane heat. And then one room's freezing and the other room's hot. Another way that we like to stay warm is using heated blankets and our heated mattress pad, which is the greatest thing ever.
It is so amazing. You get into bed, you slide it under your covers, you turn it on before you get into bed, and it is like a toasty, warm bed. It's phenomenal. We absolutely love it.
You only need to turn it on like 5 minutes before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So like right before you go brush your teeth, go click it on, and you're ready to go.
Then if you're out in the living room or something and you want to stay toasty, we totally suggest doing a heated blanket. I love heated blankets. Our pets love the heated blanket. We keep the heated blanket on the couch for them, and they really enjoy it also.
So now here's some tips and tricks on how to keep your pipes from freezing over the winter.
So the first thing that we did was when we bought our RV, first of all, we looked for an RV that was considered good for the weather, like all season RV, and you can find these around because they have the underbelly is actually protected. You don't necessarily need to get an RV like that, but because we knew that we were going to be in it in the winter time, that is what we sought out when we were buying an RV. And then the next step after that is to even put even more insulation under there and insulate it with our skirting.
Most people are not going to be using foam board like us unless you're stationary and not moving.
So if you are moving around, they do sell insulation cloth skirting that actually pins to your RV. So we're selling it, so we didn't necessarily want to install anything, and we wanted to do it on a budget,
which is way cheaper.
Yes, which is what brought us to our solution, which was foam board. And a lot of people do this. If you know that your RV is going to stay in that stationary area, you can install it and know that it's going to stay there all season. So we used foam board, and we also used foil tape.
So the foam board is a long process. It takes a lot of work. It's not physically hard, it's just time consuming and frustrating.
It's like one big puzzle. You have to fit every little piece together around your RV, then use the foil tape to attach it. Foil tape does not leave a residue on your RV, so don't use duct tape, don't use something like that.
Don't use duct tape.
Foil tape is what you need to get if you're doing that method. Like Tony said, it took a long time, but I think it's really worth it, and it was pretty budget friendly. So overall, just make sure if you don't want your pipes to freeze, to definitely put a skirting around your RV, look for a weather all season RV, and then the last step to getting your pipes to not freeze is to put some sort of heating element in there, whether it be a little space heater, or what we did was we put in, what, two trouble lights?
Two trouble lights.
Two trouble lights, we hooked them underneath there.
So the next tip we have is to make sure that you monitor the temperature underneath your RV where your pipes and your tanks are. Yeah. We do that through using a 3-way thermometer. We have one that's inside. Not that that's necessary, you have a thermostat, but it comes with it.
Yeah, ours doesn't have like the actual temperature though, our thermostat. So I like to have one inside, tells you what your temperature is indoors.
And then we have one outside, so we know the outdoor temperature, and we have one underneath the belly of the RV, so we know what it is inside. And even without the trouble lights on, because we haven't turned them on yet, it's about 10 degrees warmer. Once we turn it on, I'm assuming it's gonna go up, but we haven't yet.
And then to go off of that, we have noticed that when we use the propane more, it's actually helping to heat that underbelly of our RV. Instead of just using the electric heater, the propane just does a much better job. So that is a pro to using your propane. It will help with your pipes.
And it does make sense of why that would happen. The air ducts where the heated air goes run the length of the RV in between the tanks and the floor. So you're just heating the tanks, which is perfect, while you're running your propane.
So we talked about how to get your pipes to not freeze once the water is in the RV, but how on earth do you get the water from wherever you're getting the water from into your RV without that freezing?
We chose to go with a heated water hose. It plugs in to an outlet, which if you're at an RV park, the outlet's right next to the water supply usually.
Yeah.
Ours happens to be right there too.
Yeah.
And it has a thermostat that's outside to register the temperature, and it only turns on when I believe it's below 40 degrees outside, so it would be on right now.
Yep, we got ours from Amazon. We can link it below. They are not cheap by any means, but it's totally worth it. Another way we keep warm inside the RV is by treating the windows with a plastic.
Yeah, so we did the simple window kit that you can buy at any home improvement store or even Walmart.
We got ours from Walmart.
We got ours from Walmart. Just use the tape around the outside of the window, cut the plastic the right size, put it on there, and use a hairdryer to do that. If you're in an RV though, you need to turn off all the other electronics to run the hairdryer.
You will blow your fuse.
Yes.
And I will say you have to keep using the hairdryer until it is completely taut. It might seem like it's all done and then you keep going with it and it does get completely taut. And it's really, like, you can't even tell it's barely on, honestly. It's
if you do it
completely clear if you do it right, yeah.
Wintertime, there's snow on the ground, it's cold, you're wet, you're dirty. How do you keep your RV clean as you're going in and out of it?
And organized. You have all these coats and boots and gloves and hats, and it can be a hassle to figure out where on earth you're going to put all of that stuff. So our suggestion and tip for that is to have an entryway where a designated area where you're going to put your coats, a designated spot where you're going to put your hats and your gloves. Especially if you have kids, you need a section so that way you're not taking those things and putting them throughout the RV. So for us, as soon as you walk in, we got these big mats from Walmart, and they are a great place to collect the dirt, collect the moisture. I think they're indoor-outdoor mats. So we have 2 of them as soon as you walk in the door. Then we have little baskets where we put all of our hats and our gloves and things like that. And then we also got a shelf from Walmart on the other side of the entryway where we put our boots. We also lined that shelf with rubber mats. That way that moisture from your boots aren't going to seep down. It's nice and just clean and orderly, and it's been working really well for us.
And all of it's very easy to clean because you just take it outside and shake it.
Yeah, you take it outside, you shake it, you can vacuum it, and that way the mess is contained and it just doesn't track throughout your RV. The next step to survive winter in an RV is to have a snowball fight!
Not fair. I hope these tips and tricks for being in an RV over the winter time helped you guys a lot.
If you're not already subscribed to our channel, be sure to do that before you go. Like this video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Shot out of bed into the tip top, sitting on the edge of my bed, waiting by the river, waiting by the river. I found a little piece of homestead.